Hi, my name is Jennifer Sahara, and I'm the owner at Sakura Winery. Not necessarily how I got started, but what keeps me going.
And what is that?
So actually, it's really, there are times when I do think about, gosh, should I just stop? You know, there, with the drain on time and money and energy, should I stop? And then I remember, you know, my mom, she taught me to enjoy the moment and just appreciate where I am. And when I stop and remember that, I think, okay, I'm happy doing this. It's exciting, it's an adventure. And when I remember that, then no matter what's going on, I can be happy with what I'm doing and keep going. So really it is my mom that inspires me to keep going, yeah.
My name is Cyrus Hazzard. I'm the Executive Vice President here at Crocker and Starr Winery in St. Helena, California, in the northern part of Napa Valley. That is a tough question, Ray.
I don't make them easy.
No, it's a good question. It's a great question.
Thank you.
The challenge, obviously, is you do see a lot of people, like you say, and people ask a lot of interesting questions. Boy, if I think about the things that... Because when someone says, I've never been asked, the first thing that pops in my brain is, what question do I keep getting asked that I don't like? And I turn that brain around and stick it the other way. Because they always ask, not always, but a lot of people ask you, how the hell did you get in this business?
Yeah, sure.
But no one ever asked me, what did I really want to do, I guess, right? What did I think I was going to do when I got out of high school and started going to college? There's the question.
There is the question.
Oh, my God. Yeah, no one ever asked me that.
So what did you want to do?
Oh, my God. I wanted to grow weed.
An honorable profession.
I was from Humboldt County. It was just, I wanted to grow things. I didn't know. Honestly, you're so young back then. It was really weed what it is. I probably was destined for agriculture in some form or another.
Hi, I'm Stephen Mirassou. I'm a winemaker and proprietor of the Stephen Kent Winery in Livermore, California. I suppose it would be, why do I do what I do? You know, we've gotten the question, what is it, how do you make wine? Get all the time. What's your favorite grape? Get all the time. Why do I spend as much time doing what I do? Why do I love what it is I do so much? Why is it's inextricably tied to who I am, at least my own self-belief of who I am. And I think that asking anybody the why of whatever it is that they do, wine, communication, that we're both involved in as well, is you start to get to inner depths, I think, that are fascinating, can be anyway. And I think that if I'm going to answer in brief the question I just asked myself, I love people. I love making things. I love making things that excite people. I love making beautiful things. I have a large enough ego to want to be really good at what I do, whether it's writing or winemaking. It would be facile to say I can't imagine doing anything else, because I can. I wouldn't like it as much as I like what I do now. And the fact that we have so many wonderful supportive club members, I've been allowed to do this, which I never take for granted. But I feel the greatest potential for growth and the greatest potential for excellence, for getting the most out of myself when I'm doing what it is that I do. So that's my answer, I suppose.
I'm Jack Florence, owner, grape grower, winemaker of Florence Vineyard. Oh, I thought you were going to ask me the question I get asked all the time, which I have all kinds of answers for that one.
Okay.
But the question I never get asked, how does what I do translate into what you get out of a glass? You know, and there's a lot that goes into it, and I think you have a sense of that. But really, and you'd be surprised that even one person or two or three people on a vineyard this size can over the course of a couple of weeks before harvest, take it from what might have been a mediocre wine to a really great wine. And a lot of that is just sun, like we're seeing today, getting sun on the grapes, getting the sun air exposure. That if you're not here or if you're not aware of it, then it doesn't happen, and the wines are just so. So having that, the knowledge and ability to to take the grapes that extra little bit. And timing is so important. You can't just say, "Oh, I'll do it on the weekend," or "I'll do it next week."
No, they don't wait, do they?
Because you have to be aware of the weather always, and you have to do everything at just the right time. So yeah, it's tempting to think in September I'm just going to coast the harvest. Now I got 2 or 3 weeks, but no, that's when it's really, really important. Yeah. So I think that's kind of a meandered answer to your question, but I think the question would be, what is it that a farmer does, that a grape grower does, that affects what people, have in their glass?
Hi, I'm Judd Finkelstein of Judd's Hill Winery here in Napa Valley. There's something I'd like to ask you, because I think about this anytime somebody asks me questions. Has any of this actually been interesting? Because sometimes I hear my own voice and I'm like, God, who cares about this? Am I just droning on and on?
Not at all.
No?
No, I find you very entertaining. This whole world of talking to winemakers has been nothing but a fascination. And I think I said this to you once before. Every time I finish an interview, I go, I'll never do one that good again.
Yeah.
And then you go on to the next one.
Good. Keeps you going. I mean, you've been doing this for years. How long have you been doing this?
We're the longest running wine podcast online, 15 years as of last August.
Okay, well, thank you on behalf of
Thank you.
all of us on this side.
I appreciate that.
I appreciate it. But it is, I guess I think I've got a healthy enough ego, but also when I sit down for these things, like, really, somebody, I tell these stories, like, really, somebody is interested in this? Okay, I'll talk then. But I think you just brought up a question that I haven't ever been asked, but I think is, at least to me personally, important. What makes it worth it to you? Being in this business. It's not an easy business, as you know. It's not a business that has made me a particularly wealthy person. I do fine, but I don't drive fancy cars, and I do watch, we got to watch the finances. We got to get kids through school. It provides a living, but it's not extravagant by any means. And there's this perception, I think, that it's the other way, right? But when you said somebody opens a bottle and goes, oof, like, this is nice, that's like a payday to me. Yeah. That really is. And I'm not particularly money motivated. It's, of course, got to have it, and it's nice to have, and got to be able to provide for the family and whatnot. But this might sound corny, but it's sincere. Like, as important to at least my emotional health, as important as getting an actual paycheck, is when somebody really enjoys an experience I provided. And that could be the wine. It could be their evening at the Fink here. We seen people smile when they have a drink. My wife and I got married. It's been 20 years now, but that's not the point. We got married in a place here in the valley because some people we didn't previously know were out for dinner, enjoyed a bottle of Judd's Hill that they ordered because they'd never heard of our wine, but it was at a nice restaurant here in the valley, so they figured, they must know something. They asked them, and it was recommended to them. They liked it so much, they ordered another bottle. They enjoyed that one so much, they kind of looked at the back and saw there was a phone number on the back, because my mom never let us be on any maps back in the old days because it was their house, too. Our current location, please come by, but the original Judd's Hill up in the hills, it was my parents' house, so, privacy also. So we weren't on any maps. You had to call up, and if my mom liked the sound of your voice, she'd give you directions to come visit, right? These folks did. They became personal friends just by calling up, coming over, sitting down at my parents' house with my parents. I wasn't there on that occasion. Had a lovely time, and you make friends. And because of that friendship, and because they enjoyed our wine so much, they offered to host our wedding.
Oh, nice.
And can you imagine? Talk about getting a payday just because someone liked your wine and had this beautiful estate in Oakville. And, like, it's yours for the day. You know, do what you will. Let's have a party. Let's have a wedding. It gets me a little like, I can't believe, like, you put something out in the world like that and people get so much enjoyment and happiness out of it that it can lead to something so grand. That's a big example, but to me, as important are all the little things too. When people either send me a note or in person tell me about what a wonderful time they've had, or I have enjoyed this so much, or they come back with friends. That's a payday for me. That makes it worth it. If I can make someone happy that they want to go out and tell someone else about it and bring them in to the experience that I can provide, I can't think of anything better.
My name is Jessica Carroll, and I'm the winemaker and owner at JMC Cellars here in beautiful Livermore, California. You know, something people generally don't ask is how my family felt about the career shift, actually.
That's a really interesting question. So how did they react to it, other than maybe going, yay, wine?
They weren't so positive at the beginning, actually. They were like, are you insane?
Well, I've already covered that, so.
Which we have. It was very much, are you sure? Okay. I mean, my family is amazing, so it was just they wanted to make sure that, you know, I'd really thought about it. And a lot of the conversations were, well, I've been thinking about this for 2 years, and I'm just now coming to the conclusion that this is what I need to do and try. And I don't think it hit home until my mom and I were traveling in France. And we were at it. We ended up kind of crashing a tasting that the hotel had done for another group of French. They were doing like a team building like day out, and so they were amazing, so nice that a lot of them spoke fluent English, so they were able to translate from the winemaker for us. And we're in this cellar, tiny cellar, and he's pulling a barrel sample of something, and I know some French, but when you speak really quick, I don't pick up quite as much. And he just put it in our glasses, and I swirled it and I tasted it, and I thought it was a co-fermentation. I got floral and all this stuff on the nose, and so I kind of caught his eye and said Viognier with a question, you know, and everyone around me started to correct me. No, it's a red. It's all Syrah. It's 100% Syrah. And then the winemaker corrected them, saying, no, actually, she's right. And I think that was a light bulb moment for my mom of like, oh, hey. My daughter is actually really serious about this.
Hi, Robbie Meyer with Pearson Meyer Wines. I don't know if this is the right thing, but the question would be, but why? But why? Robbie, you grew up in Atlanta. You left your whole family behind just to move out here to make wine? Why? Why do you care that much about it? And the interesting thing is that my answer to that in 1996 would be different in 2024. I loved wine. I loved science. I like, you know, the concept and idea of farming and all of that. It all sounded cool. Yes, that was fulfilled in me. But why do you keep doing it? It's because it's this like open book that like every day is a new page and a new chapter, and it means something new. I'm starting to almost get emotional about it because it's that profound. It's like I feel so fortunate that I found this career that can keep unfolding itself and keep revealing more and more and more, and that I want to go. So you see me looking over here.
Sure.
I want to go out into the field. I want to see what's going on with the grapes. I want to taste that barrel over there. I want to just be involved. And sure, it's those things with the grapes and the barrels, but it's also the people that I get to work with. You know, I'm just so sad this year. My good buddy Juan, he's retiring this year. He just suddenly announced his retirement. You know, 50 vintages that he has, and that I've worked with him for so long. And it's the people that I get to meet, and the life experience, the culture. That's what's exciting.
Hi, I'm Ryan Prichard, the director of winemaking at Three Sticks. I will say that one thing that people don't focus enough on is that I was talking about it earlier with the puzzle. Winemaking varies from year to year, and it's what I love about it is you get this different set of challenges every single year, and I don't think people understand how big that can be from a year-to-year basis, and understanding vintages and the nuance. The nuance expands when fruit comes in, and all of a sudden you have to kind of tweak and contort a little bit year to year. But it's that part of winemaking is what, as somebody who likes to and tries to control the uncontrollable. Yes. There's a part of me that really loves that uncontrollable piece of it. I love to be able to, have that out there, that Mother Nature doesn't agree always with what we expect or want, and that's okay. It's part of the piece of it that I love. It's not something that I fear or dislike like a lot of people in this industry do.
I'm Katie Wetzel Murphy from Alexander Valley Vineyards. I don't know, and I don't find that people who interview you ever want to know what question you want to be asked. They want to ask what they want to know. One of the things I like to say is, if you knew what lay ahead of you, you'd never get out of bed in the morning, So I think that challenges and changes, which this business is full of, going back to the product is different every year. There's always something new. Challenges and changes are really healthy, both for people and for an industry, I think in general. When we look at sales over the last 2 years and kids are freaking out and what are we gonna do? And those of us who've been selling wine for 45 years are like, oh, well, we've kind of seen this before, you know? Dips in likes, dips in dislikes, the exchange rate of the dollar to the French franc, whatever it happens to be at the moment, is something that you better be prepared to weather out or prepared to understand, because those things are going to happen, and probably no matter what business you're in, of course. But just because you own the business doesn't mean you control what the factors are that go on around it.
Hello, I am Guillaume Large, winemaker at Resonance in Carlton, in Yamhill, Carlton, AVA, Willamette Valley in Oregon. Huh, interesting. What was the first wine maybe I tasted? No, I don't think. The first wine of my life. Yes, I think that will be interesting because it's in link with my past, with the place where I grew up, and that can be a good way to introduce a long discussion about the wine experience and the wine. So it was a Macron Wetzel from the vineyard of my grandfather. So very easy. It was just a splash. I cannot tell you how old I was because, but yeah, very, very first connection with the wine. Yeah.